Welcome back to my channel. I just came back from the Tom Cruise movie American Made. So now I'm gonna give you what I think of this movie. Now, before this movie came out, I heard a lot of praise. Rotten Tomato give it like 88%. A Metacritic score was pretty good. Um, to to put the nail on the coffin, my favorite movie review YouTuber Jeremy Jones and Chris Stuckman also gave a really positive review. So I feel like going to a movie today, and I was like, the weather's cold, can't do anything, so why not go for a movie, and why not see American Made? And I'm pretty sure this movie would do good, or also somewhat decent in the box office. I don't know. Maybe I could completely wrong, but when I came into the theater, there's no empty seat. I had to get the rear edge. I had to get the seat in the front. It's that popular, and so like there's just a lot of craze on it. Mostly because the name Tom Cruise. Even if the Mummy didn't do well, don't get me started on talking about the Mummy. That movie was bad. Um, so the real question is, how do I feel about this movie? Do I enjoy this movie? Yes. Do I like it? Sort of. Do I think it's a good movie? No. And I'm gonna explain why. This is a very fun, entertaining movie. But on the other hand, it tried to be an autobiographic movie. But there's not in one instance I felt like I'm watching a real thing, because everything in the film was portrayed so cartoonish that I cannot take anything seriously. And it's not like to say I don't like fun movies. I love Pacific Rim, even though there were a lot of plot holes and stuff. There were autobiography that could be fun, but what made in real life everything you do have consequences. And this film, I just don't feel like there is not big enough of a stake. I mean, something did happen in the end, did happen to our main character. That's kind of a that's kind of involved consequences, a big deal. But the movie is just such a cartoonish tone. It felt like a superhero movie. I can't take anything seriously. And towards the end, I felt nothing for the guy. Like, I felt nothing for Tom Cruise character. So basically, he's like a pilot. He is delivering weapons for CIA to the freedom fighters who are fighting against the quote unquote Communist Party in South America. And also, he's doing the drug dealer. He's bringing cocaine for Pablo Escobardo and stuff. Along the way, he does some other side business. I don't remember. It's like so much stuff happening. He just does a lot of like smuggling stuff. And throughout the film, we basically see how he does the things he does. But whatever the consequences involved in, we don't see it, at least until the third half. But even in the third half, it was portrayed so half-heartedly that it felt like that it's just become a comedy. The whole film is basically a comedy, but it's about a guy who is involved in some serious political turmoil, and he's just looking at it like a big game. And it's not like he's alone or anything. He has a family. He has kids. He has wife that cared about him. And he's just doesn't give a shit about any of this. Now, I realize that this could be based on a real fact, a real story, and this could be what really happens, but I don't know. the this film is just off the chart, not in a good way. Um, it just felt like none of this, if it is real, doesn't feel real to me. At least the way I portrayed it. Maybe the whole thing could be 100% true, but the way they did it was just, I don't know. I don't like it. There's like one part where someone got killed because of his activity. Now, indirectly, because of his wealth and stuff. And then, second half of the movie, the last half of the movie, people were doing investigation, and that person's death that involves him was never even brought up. And I felt that it was strange. Like, he was like that person, everyone knows him pretty well, and nobody was talking about him. I mean, absolutely nobody. There was a lot of things that could have a serious consequences that were not addressed. There were some issues that were addressed because, like, law enforcement caught up to him. But it's just like basically you're saying, "Oh, you have a lot of money. How do they come from?" I mean, like, what? It's just there's so many other things that you could talk about. Like, there's so many things that could come back to him, but it doesn't. There's a, like I said, there was a lot of things that just feels very inconsequential. Also, I felt like the pacing of the movie is a little bit way too fast. Um, Sometimes you see time jump. Normally, I'm okay with time jumps. Some people say like Dark Knight Rises has a time jump. It's just one instance, and it was necessary because it was a siege. But this film has a time jump every not even every couple events, every couple scenes. But sometimes like there were moments where there's a time jump and I was like, wait a minute, what just happened? This is just, I think the pacing was go faster and fastest. It doesn't give me enough time to process it. And if you make an autobiography movie, if you want us to believe that he really exists, you better spend some time on him. Also, which speaking of which, I just don't feel like the rest of the cast was important in any way. I felt like they could use his wife and his children. See, this ties back to the pacing stuff, because like things goes fast like in a couple years, and you see his wife getting pregnant once, and then he's getting pregnant twice, and then like, wait a minute, how many kids does he have? There's not a single moment in the film where the movie was trying to show him and his family were whole. It's basically him and his wife. And his wife was not even that, was somewhat concerned, but then like he was like, wait a minute, what kind of stuff are you doing? And then like and then Tom Cruise waved him money, and she was like, okay, no question asked. It's like, what? All of the other character, apart from most of the character in the film, are seem fine with what he's doing, which makes me hard to believe, because this is the guy who drove airplane, who bought an entire fucking town, and he was like dealing with drugs and weapons, and he was not even that discreet about it. So why does it take them so long to even question him? I don't know, that like there was a lot of things that doesn't make sense. However, I had to give some positives to the film. It is a very fun movie. Like, I was genuinely entertained. At the very least, I could say there's no one moment in the film where I felt it was boring. Like, I couldn't pinpoint a single moment in the film where I found this boring. And that was pretty, I call it a big plus. Tom Cruise was really, really good. Even in some shittier film, he was still really, really good. Like Mummy or like the second Jack Reacher movie. I just hope like he could do something better. I don't know. People say this film and Edge of Tomorrow are the best he has done in recent years. I didn't like Edge of Tomorrow that much, to be very honest. I didn't like the way that film ended. I still feel like Mission Impossibles were some of his best work. In the post 2005 where like Tom Cruise jumped the sofa and shit. So overall, my verdict is this is a very entertaining movie. 9 out of 10, you will like this as a casual viewer. You will go in, you will have your fun time. Like, I can guarantee it. This movie is fun. I can guarantee this much. I can guarantee it's a very entertaining movie. It's a very cartoonish movie. But basically, if you come out, you probably will forget it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna see this movie again. Real quick, addressing like my multiple viewing kind of a policy. People say, "Oh, movies like Alien Covenants or like you said you watched several times to get it. That's because you watch it several times and you have to get it." That's not the way I see things. The way I see things is this. If I watch a movie for the first time, even if I didn't like it, if there's something that's humming to me in my head, if there's something that I know if there's something drawn to me. Alien Covenant was one. First time I saw Wonder Woman, I have to be honest, I didn't like it that much. Second time, I like it way better. Because there are some things in Wonder Woman that I could not properly process for the first time, even the second time. So, American Made is definitely not one of those movies. Unless if I have a friend who really want to see it, I was like, okay, I'll go see it with you. Otherwise, I don't see myself seeing this movie again. It's just very forgettable, very inconsequential. Character development is very lacking. There's almost no character development. I was inclined to give this movie a 7, but given that this movie is just such a mess, I had to give it a 6.5. I don't know. Probably if I let it sink in for a couple of days, probably I'd give boost up for 7, but I doubt that's will ever happening. All right, so this is what I thought about American Made, and right now I'm still planning a short film. Not sure if I'm gonna do it. Most likely it will happen. I'll keep you posted on that. And I'm still planning on my Alien Covenant analysis review. This won't be coming for a couple weeks because I want to do some more research before making anything concrete. And lastly, there will be a quick review on Blade Runner 2049, because I've been waiting for ages to see that movie, and the original Blade Runner was one of my favorite movies of all time. Alright, thank you so much for listening. If you like my channels, please click subscribe or like on my video. And as always, if you think I'm good, you're pretty good too.